Well, so we have to do a review of the newspapers, and let me just add these to you. How are you? Gifty?
Waiting for you to introduce me.
Yeah, I just did.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I trust that you're doing well. It's raining. Roland, it's good to see you once again.
Yes.
It's raining.
Unfortunately, today I forgot my marks, so.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Then let me remove mine so that, I don't know, I'm protecting you with mine. So it's a good morning. I hope that you're having
There's
a very
new
good
one we have around here. I'll try and see whether I can get one of those new ones. The
okay, sure.
ones.
Well,
but please go ahead.
Mine is by Statesman. Statesman, thank you very much for this mask, Mr. Mens. Fred Smith has been sharing it all over in the newsroom, so we're grateful. And I'm here to help Roland Walker to run the show for the next, 2 hours and a few minutes.
I'm still doing this help. You and I are doing the thing. But it's been raining. I mean, it has been raining. It's an experience that we always think is, or know is torrid, because we're never free in the capital.
Okay, shall I go ahead?
Yes, please. Sir.
Okay. Well, Manasseh Azuri-Winnie, investigative journalist, is also joining us for the review of the newspapers. Hi, Manasseh.
Good morning.
Good morning, Roland and Gifty.
Thank you.
Where is your bookshelf?
No, he's not Joseph.
I'm not an intellectual, so...
I love that.
Okay.
It is intellectuals who almost always have a
bookshelf
behind them.
Okay. Our regards to your wife. I got
We'll tell Evans, Kojo Yankson, and then Kofi Akable, Joseph Akable.
Those were the bookshelves.
These are your words.
But as for Akable, I can vouch that he reads.
I know, right?
The rest, I cannot vouch for them.
Okay.
Yes, will be for decoration.
Decoration is Sonia bad. Manasseh, it's good to have you this morning. Thank you. And my regards to your wife. I got some of her flowers. They're beautiful. So say hi to her for me.
Shall we hear?
So Ghanaian Times newspaper is what I want to start with. I have... Manasseh should start with the Ghanaian Times newspaper. It's okay. Pardon me for that. So, Manasseh.
Well, the Ghanaian Times has on its front page, the main story says 50 million Ghana cedis soft loan for 5,000 startups. And we also have military launches nationwide fumigation exercise of all its facilities. And then we have a story that Customs Division busts illicit drug smuggling syndicate at Aplau. A story JoyNews carried extensively on radio and TV yesterday.
Continue with the dispatch. You have the dispatch too, I'm told. Just do the headlines and we'll see how it goes.
Yes, the dispatch says, its main story says the legal battle for new voter register. EC submits legal basis for new register to Supreme Court. It also has how Akufo-Addo's possible loss of 400,000 votes has been avoided.
I see.
That's it? Do you have the back page, Manasseh?
No.
Yes,
okay.
I think it has something to do. Colin Powell has drifted away from the Constitution. And the back page has a story that says nationwide disinfection of military facilities. I think this is carried in the Ghanaian Times as well. That's the main story on the back page of the Daily Dispatch.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Well, let me do the Finder and the Daily Guide, and then when we're done, Gifty will do the Daily Graphic and then the Statesman.
Yeah, right.
Well, on the front page of the Finder, we have 50 million Ghana cedis for 5,000 startups and third window of presidential business support. That's coming from Dr. Wow. And very soon we'll have an interaction with the chief executive for NIPE and try to get some of those details as well, John Kuma. And we promise to do that in the coming day or two. Other stories we have on the front page of the Finder: 331 contestants chase 165 MPP seats, of which 65 are unopposed. I know Manasseh had intended vying for one of those seats. It was not possible. He's going to deny it abruptly. Serious. Okay, Ghana's
Thank God you've denied for me.
Yes, I have. Rejoined us straight. Ghana's COVID-19 case count hits 9,910 with 48 deaths. And then we have to put it into perspective. The active cases then would have to take a look at, because we have to do the deductions of some 3,345 of the recoveries, the fatalities, and then we'll have to come to the conclusion. Our death toll now is 48, we're told. Okay, let's go to the Daily Guide. Has on the front page, MPP clamps down on cases, and we know this has been cut from that interaction with the press conference to announce how the primaries will be convened by the MPP, by the party's general secretary. He addressed that press conference, JB John Buedu. We also do have mayhem at killer landlord trial. Has an inserted picture of Victor Steve Nana Kankam. Up there, we have venture capital, 42 million Ghana cedi loot, court bounces agreement. And we know that yesterday, Mr. Duku had put in some restitution to plow back into state coffers some 15 million. It looks like the cost is matter. Nationwide military facilities disinfection begins. On the back page, which you may not have, it's a story about Raheem Sterling saying the only disease now is racism. And we know that Manasseh and Gifty in solidarity with the George Floyd Black Lives Matter protests all across the world. And then we have other stories. Okay.
Right.
And there's a story on the back page, though, which apparently says that Obinim was better than me. Kotoko legend confesses. And that's Stephen Odro, apparently used to play football with Bishop Daniel Obinim. Well, we'll take you to Odona as well and look at the flood situation there.
Okay.
We'll try and get okay, so yeah, so we straight away we'll have to take you to Odona.
So we're taking a quick pause on the newspapers.
No, so yes, we'll do that while we get all the pictures available.
Okay.
Just do the daily graphic, and then when we get all those live interactions, we'll quickly. Okay, so these are the interactions gifted.
Okay, so these are live visuals coming to you from Odona during the rains. You can see that it's flooded, terribly flooded, and
in Accra after a heavy It's 4:30 in Accra after a heavy downpour, and the new normal is here again with us. The flood had been something that we witness anytime it rains in Accra, and properties are lost. This morning we are here close to the Odona, and you could see from the background that it is just flooding. People living here have lost many of their properties, including those living in Aveno.
At once now we go see the place full up with water. So please, we are suffering too much. See the environment, every place to sell. No, please, can do something to it.
Where do you sleep?
Please, we sleep at the overhead under. The overhead under here. So please.
So the chassis be two muhono. Two morning so started a freeze. Starting almost a freeze St. John's. And about the buy now about Beira and about Drew Hanamo. Say, we have crown and so dear. They're doing there a swat crown no. The time I'm better so dear. And so that's what no.
More high, more secretary. Obi say a dear Japadie, and as I see, and a marshal high.
Oh, here, Tony Amano Hanon dear. In so near no. A fire near my bibri co. And near my need that so I know near Mano. In so not for Nina, Contesi, and Yenny Dazobia. to say be a band so more be obetim the aboya and also ye na mum de to aso bi am say gata na emu sesine de e so ba behwe na wati ni nyina mu ma kama fefe say de emfa ahokyere so emma o my Ghana ye wa Accra house yeso ye ho beto ye
nje na ewu nam nsuo mu ye obebi say de na ahwehwe won nsuo mu
nsuo na me gina mu sesi ano nya bibi na mehwe say nsuo na fa me niam na ekọ no de aka no me bọ ho ban tina me gina nsuo mu ha sesi ano
de wan na aka sesi a wo bọ ho ban
say me so hwe aso me niam so nie ana nsuo no abo na nsuo na yira fa sa niam we nyina wa ha no na bisa gina ha
aha de na the middle office ya nti ana me nua no ba say me sorry ana me say da o sin to na me nua ben ne wa afede de ebe mu say nsuo na start fiase ana eba nti no ayade aye wa anya we ni first we come 3 times ni na me fan say 9 years pepe ni na 3 times ni we nsuo e fa wa nti ni de e fan say ayade atu en wa de nti no ye ni bibia aka ni bibia aka fa ho de metima aka fa ho na ese maka no
Mama ya yo mama dar me No, yeah,
I will give a VIP or
VIP station. VIP station.
Jesse,
I go see.
Young Boko.
VIP ho.
VIP station.
VIP na ya map Jesse Kwaswana that in and park it. Jesus Christ.
What do you
Well, the distraction of the rains just some hours ago. It's still drizzling, if not raining, in some parts of the capital.
And you want to be careful out there.
Yeah.
You certainly want to. We had to bring you that one quickly so that you can have an idea what town looks like. So when you're stepping out, you're advised and you know what's the right thing to do. I mean, these floods, they're with us. They always come. I don't know when they're going away, but you can stay safe and you can stay away from it, right, Roland? Okay.
According to Papa Nick Clegg, the PRO for the Meteo Agency, who we first spoke to as we began the show, it used to take about an hour for you to have the inhabitant at the end of the channel of the door, especially to have or experience flooding. Now it takes just about 30 minutes for you to experience it.
Well, 30 minutes is even a lot for me, I think, anyway. So Daily Graphic newspaper is reporting that government is to train 26,000 entrepreneurs. It comes with a photo of Dr. Mohammed Ibrahim Awal, who launched the Presidential Business Support. And presidential business support, we're also looking at the media as well. Arba Kumsin's documentary yesterday highlighted the problems that the media is facing because of COVID-19. So it's an interesting thing that's happening. 50 million Ghana cedis earmarked for this program. We're coming for hours. The story is by Kester Abram Crunchy. And it says the government has started the process to train 26 young entrepreneurs. Across the country under the third phase of the Presidential Business Support Program. Take a look at that newspaper, the Daily Graphic. And then the NPP parliamentary primaries, 374 battle for 101 slots, 65 go on a post, 3 on hold. All of that is on page 3. Yesterday, you had the General Secretary of the NPP, John Boy, to describe those who are cursing, the behavior of those who are cursing as crass and crude. Very interesting thoughts there. He's also on the paper. And courts rejects Duku's move to pay 15 million cedis. That story is on page 16. I turn to the back page of the newspaper. A Daily Graphic newspaper says rainstorm destroys Sakasaka Primary School block in Tamale, and community engagement proceeds landfill decommissioning. We brought you that story here on JoyNews. A quick look at the center spread, and then we ask Manasseh to give us his pick, and we'll have a quick discussion on that. The Center Spread says graphic rolls out themed days for 70th anniversary. Move away from flood-prone areas. Now that story is according to NADMO. NADMO advising residents to move away from flood-prone areas by Julius Echasafo. She did that yesterday, and we've just seen what happened at the Odona. Institutions stick to online academic programs despite the ease in restrictions. It comes with a picture of the University of Ghana. Then they have stories of what's happening on UPSA campus, what's happening on KNUST campus, what's happening at GIMPA, and what's happening at the University of Ghana. So this is it for the Daily Graphic newspaper. Let me end with the Daily Statesman. The Daily Statesman banner headline, no room for indiscipline, with an exclamation sign. NPP orders suspension of, quote, dissidents, outlines primaries modalities. EC must remove 7 million names without new register. Let my votes count. Alliance is saying that. And on the back page, Raheem Sterling speaks out on racism following the death of George Floyd. And okay, I don't know this name. Roland, what's that name? Seeks to acquire Daniel Amate on loan. It's a football club, right? Go step.
Got it.
Are you sure?
Very much so.
Okay.
Play football. Until you can't wait, now challenge it. You lie English.
Okay, that's the Statesman. Let me see if there's anything new in the center spread of that paper. Okay. Manasseh, are you ready to give us your pick so we'll have a quick conversation on it? Hi, Manasseh. Okay. The center spread says petroleum consumer. Okay. Government recovers just 0.3% of its loans to SOEs. That's what was reported yesterday. Bank of Ghana digital currency still under consideration, says Deputy Governor. So that's it for the Daily Graphic and the Daily Statesman. Manasseh,
which one is your pick?
My pick is the 50 million for the 5,000 startups as contained on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. That the presidential business support the third window. And I think this comes in handy, especially because of this COVID and its impact on small businesses. So I think it is good, but the question has always been how they are going to do it. That's my main worry. And this should be the worry of Ghanaians who know how our leaders do things, especially this being an election year. We may need to play the devil's advocate and find out whether some connections or party cards may be needed to access this particular funding that is available. And I listened to something Bernard Avles said in that documentary produced by Araba Kumsin. And I think it makes a lot of sense that instead of always doling out cash, we can also try to make it possible that certain taxes that these startups and companies are supposed to pay will be reduced. And my brother also made a point the other day that if you look at the lending rates, the loans we take from banks, the interest is so high that if government can, through the central bank, reduce some of the risk so that if a loan is, you take a loan and you're paying about 30%, 28% interest, and it now comes down to, let's say, 15 or 14% interest, people can still go and take the loans. They'll be able to do what they're supposed to do. They will spend, and the economy will be boosted without the government necessarily having to dole out money, which may not benefit everybody. So I think there are a number of interventions that can be looked at from this angle, instead of just giving out money, which may end up in the wrong pockets, as we know very well in this country.
But Manasseh, you know that there are processes for the call for the application. So once those processes are followed through, then it means that, well, in a way, it's been formalized.
Oh, that's very automatic.
We've always had processes in Ghana, and I'm very familiar with the procurement law, but almost every contract that even goes through the procurement process is circumvented in a way. So I have come to lose faith in the processes. I have come to lose faith in even the laws or the implementation. But if there's a way it can be done so that there wouldn't be the direct intervention of the politician at this critical moment, like the loans, whatever I'm talking about, if it is the interest rate is brought so low, if your business is struggling, you can go for it. You don't need any politician to come in for you. You don't need any chief or any influential person to come in and perhaps discriminate against someone else. But if you have the opportunity to present your documents to the bank and they are convinced, everybody can benefit without necessarily having to know somebody or going through these processes that can be extremely problematic in an election. 7 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, processes don't necessarily, we've seen in many instances where processes don't necessarily work in this country. So maybe we'll be able to do something better with this one and try to, but it's difficult for me to think actually that you'll have a politician give something and not have politicians being involved. I don't know. I don't know where that happens. But anyway, let's hope for the best.
Well, and we have to do myjoyonline.com straight away.
Okay. Let's take a look at myjoyonline.com. All right, so there it is. The floods making its way to our top story. Parts of Accra flooded after Tuesday's downpour. And yeah, people are going to walk through water. We're going to have the same things. You take the script from 5 years ago, you bring it today, and you see that you're talking about the same story. In fact, the script will fit. That's terrible. Government in eroding NDC's gains in oil and gas sector. That's according to Emmanuel Amakofi Boa, spoke to Evans Mensah. And Ghana's COVID-19 case count near 10,000 as 4 more die. NHIA card holders still on voters register. EC admits as it begs Supreme Court for a chance to obey 2016 order, and Shroud throws out vote buying and corruption allegations against John Mahama, former president. A fear of the unknown. Many young people develop COVID-19 related mental illness in the Ashanti region. Finally, Economic Fighters League allege police fired live ammunition at crowd. That story we brought you yesterday as well. Scroll all the way down on that page. We've got lots of news there. Okay, so Kente has been trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
So we have that story there. Kente cloth
in the US.
Beloved, yeah.
And Ghana
is
too.
beloved in Ghana. Why did Democrats wear it? Now Nancy Pelosi, there you see him in that kneel there in honor of George Floyd and all that's happening. Nancy has been to Ghana before, and so I'm sure that she probably procured it from here. Otherwise, it's easy to get those as well.
While we try to claim originally that it is Ghana, which indeed it is, it's still one in Cote d'Ivoire because we still have some long-standing relations with some tribes who have their origin from the Akan.
And you know we live close to them, so we share a lot of things, even our language.
And you know one problem I have with this Kente debate and the rest?
Tell us, Manasseh.
Always comes up when some people in America wear it, and when our costumes or our fabric is worn in Europe or in the West. My problem is we shouldn't always wait and be proud when someone else wears it. If we were to be proud of our fabrics, what we had, GTP, Akusomo Textiles Limited, and many other fabric-related industries would not collapse. So we shouldn't just be proud that, well, a white woman is wearing what we produce here. Let's be proud of it and wear it from Monday to Sunday. Fantastic. Because you can get different varieties of it. And when I speak about the African fabric, people say it's expensive. That is not true. It is not that expensive. And if you are committed to promoting what is local, what is Ghanaian, I think we can always find reason to promote our own and not only wait till somebody wears it, wow, that superior human being is wearing what we also wear. I think that's the mentality we create when we take so much pride that someone else wearing what we have here. When we don't make the necessary effort, I think these days you go to weddings and a bit of it happens, but it shouldn't only happen at weddings and then on Fridays. We can wear it from Monday to Sunday.
Okay, Manasseh.
Local industry.
Manasseh, we hear you, but that's a debate we can have. I'm looking forward to a time where we can have that debate another time. Manasseh Azuri Awini, thank you so much. And hopefully we'll catch you another time here on the show. Manasseh Azuri Awini is an investigative journalist. Used to work with us here as our head of investigations. And he joined us this morning. Roland, what do we have next?
Next, we have to do the latest sports headlines. And Benedict also is here. But again, make sure you tag us. We have 0540 10 909. And if you have any of those pictures, your videos, you're affected by the rains, let us have those pictures and videos through our WhatsApp console. We'd also make sure that we have made available an ID for Zoom and a password for you to join us and tell us what your situation with the rainy weather is. Next, Benedict also with sports.